everybody, it's Christina. Welcome back to Adventures in Polished Land. Today I am sharing my thoughts on The Unseen World by Liz Moore. I read this for the American Lit Reading Challenge for a book set in the state of Massachusetts. This has been on my want to read list for several years now. I remember Mercedes from Mercy's Bookish Musings talking about it, and I am so glad I finally picked it up for this challenge because it ended up being my first 5-star read of the year. In this novel, we are following a young girl named Ada. She has been raised by her single father, David, who is a computer scientist who works at a nearby university. And the book follows their journey together as father and daughter. He decided to have her on his own through surrogacy, and this is unique because this was back in, I believe, the 80s, if I'm remembering correctly. David has always been extremely intelligent. He loves puzzles. He creates codes. He is working on an AI bot, which I thought was really interesting, that they are constantly talking to feed it their language. And he has a really close group of friends from his university, and it creates a found family for them. When all of a sudden, at a dinner party that he hosts annually, he has trouble remembering a joke that he always tells. And this is the first sign in the novel for Ada that something may be wrong with her father. And it turns out that he has Alzheimer's disease. So the book follows their journey as David's illness progresses and he needs more care from Ada and his friends. And soon we discover that David might not actually be who he says he is. And the book goes on a big journey throughout Ada's life to discover who David really is. Was he lying to her this entire time? Is he a scary criminal? Why did he lie to her? It's a big adventure throughout the course of the book to learn more about David, his backstory, and what it means for Ada and her place in the world. I was instantly drawn into this book because I love anything with a father-daughter relationship. I am really close with my father and he means so much to me. So I found it really emotional that her father was getting older and having Alzheimer's disease. That is something that is close to me because my grandfather had Alzheimer's, but also my father is getting older as well, and he has been having a hard time with his health. So I think I just instantly connected to this story for that reason. I also love any book that has sort of a hidden secret in it. So this one does deal with computer science and artificial intelligence, which is obviously very topical right now in the 2020s. This book was published about 10 years ago. It was really fascinating how Liz Moore really predicted how AI would be entangled in all of our lives. So, of course, the main goal of this book is for Ada to find out who David was, and so she goes through all of his computer files and everything like that over the course of the novel, trying to figure out and crack his code, if you will. That kept me turning pages. I wanted to know who he was, how it was going to be resolved in the end. So this book had a great mystery element for me, as well as the familial one. I also really loved the setting of this novel because Ada and David live in an old home in Cambridge, Massachusetts, and I just felt like I could really experience their home and their neighborhood through the writing, and her sense of home really was rich through the book. And it broke my heart when she had to start living with one of their friends because David was no longer able to take care of her. So I loved that element of what is home? Is it the building itself, or is it the place where you are with your loved ones? That was a great topic of conversation in the story as well. The book also tackles perseverance because Ada has to become very self-preserving from the early stages of this book. She is just a preteen when David begins to be unwell, and she does everything in her power to take care of him herself before other people need to step in and help. And I thought that was very sad but admirable at the same time because she truly did care for him, and even when it was pointed out that he may have been lying to her this entire time, she did not want to let go of the fact that he truly loved her and cared for her. It was such a tender book. Another thing that I really admired about The Unseen World is it tackles societal issues in a really delicate way. Sometimes when I read a book, I feel like the author is checking off some sort of diversity or hot button topic list, and they're trying to pack in as much as they can, and they shove things in your face. And this, I felt like, did the opposite, but it achieved that goal even better. Because as the book went on, it seamlessly wove in these societal issues. I would say here it really is an LGBTQIA plus book, even though that's kind of hidden underneath the surface and doesn't get discovered until much later. But the way it handles this topic makes it feel like it truly fits into the book so easily, and it's not being pushed in there just to hit a diversity quota. So I really appreciated the way Liz Moore handled that, and it makes it feel much more authentic, and I think it serves a greater purpose because it's very natural to the storyline without being over the top. I hope that makes sense, because these are certainly topics that I really care about and love to read about in books, but sometimes I feel like they're not handled in the best way. All in all, I would highly recommend The Unseen World by Liz Moore. I have read another book by her, which is The God of the Woods, and that one I had a similar reading experience where it was a page turner for me. I had to know what was going to happen next, but I didn't love the ending of that one. That being said, I think The Unseen World does an incredible job at giving you an ending that is, I don't want to spoil anything, but it presents it to you in a way that is very satisfying. Unlike some books where you don't get a lot of answers, this one does give you the answers, and I was very happy for them because it was very meaningful to me at the end. And I hope that you will pick up this book and enjoy it, because even though it was published about a decade ago now, it is more relevant than ever with its incorporation of AI into the storyline. Let me know in the comments if you've read The Unseen World and what you thought of it. And I would also love to know your thoughts on books set in Massachusetts. And finally, if you would like to learn more about the American Lit Reading Challenge, I will leave my playlist with all of my videos that are part of this challenge linked in the description box below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!